Okay, welcome to the second part of the video. Okay, so this is where we stopped discussion. Valdi had reached her destination and she was not getting out the bus. And then the conductor asked her, anyhow, you have come so far. Okay, so if you don't want to see the things here, then why did you come? Okay, and Valdi said that I just felt like having a bus ride. That's all. That's why I have come. Okay. And then the conductor again asked again, anyhow, you have reached here. So why don't you take a look at the things around? Why don't you go there to the town and all? Okay. And she says that, okay, look at the sights. Okay. Actually, I'm afraid. Then Valdi says, for the first time we see Valdi afraid. She's afraid to go into the town alone. Okay. And then the conductor asks her again. So conductor was surprised. Oh, so you were afraid. Okay. So then why you were not afraid to come alone on the bus? And she said, I don't have, okay, but there's nothing to be afraid of it. Okay. She said that she was not afraid of the bus. But I'm not afraid of the bus because she already knows everything about the bus. She had gathered enough information about the bus, how it is, how long it is. Okay, it will take to the town and when she can reach back, everything. She had heard everything from about the bus from the neighbors and passengers. But the town is a new place to her and she's not familiar with it, so she's afraid of it. And finally, then we see that our conductor is a very kind-hearted person, and he says that anyhow, why can't you go up to that stall and have a drink? And she again says no, she doesn't want it. And then finally the conductor offers to bring a cold drink to her from the stall. And then our poor Valli admits the truth. I don't have enough money for it. I don't have enough money. I just have the money for the tickets. I don't have money to buy a cold drink. And then the conductor says that, okay, it will not cost you anything. It will be my treat. Okay, now we see that the conductor is such a kind-hearted, generous person, and he has really become fond of Valli. Okay, and then he says that that's it. It is his treat, but even then, Valli denies it. Valli denied it. It shows that she's really proud, even though she doesn't know the meaning of proud. She's actually proud. She denies the offer of a free cold drink by the conductor. Okay, at this point, we'll go to the questions. Okay. How did Valli save up money for her first journey? Was it easy for her? Okay, so how did she save it? By collecting the stray coins. By collecting the stray coins that came, okay, by saving whatever stray coins that came her way. And then was it easy? No, it was very difficult. Why? Actually, it was very difficult because she had to resist all the temptations to buy the peppermints, toys, balloons, and the like. And most difficult of it was to resist the temptation, the desire to go for the merry-go-round, to ride the merry-go-round at the day of the village fair. Okay, this was very difficult for her. And then, question number 2. What did Valli see on her way that made her laugh? What to see? Their cow. Their cow was running, the young cow, which was running right in front of the bus, right in the middle of the road. And the more the driver was horning, the more fast the cow was galloping. Okay, so this made her really laugh. And a third question. Why didn't she get off the bus at the bus station? There are two reasons, right? The first reason is that the town is not familiar. She's not familiar with the town, so she's afraid of it. And then second thing, she doesn't have any money to buy anything from there. Okay. Question number 4. Why didn't Valli want to go to the store and have a drink? What was the answer? She doesn't have. One thing, she's afraid, and then second thing, she doesn't have enough money for that. And then what does this tell you about her? It actually informs us that Valli is a very proud character. Okay, self-reliant character. Now we are going to the last part of the story, part 4, the return journey. Okay, so the return journey, Valli is coming across again on the way back to village, across the same wonderful sights. Okay, but even though she was seeing all these things for the second time now, okay, just a few minutes away she has seen all these things once, and now even then she is not bored in the slightest. That's so special about Wally's character. She's not bored in the slightest. Even though she was experiencing the same sights, they were all wonderful to her. She was not bored in the slightest. And she greeted everything with the same excitement she had during the first trip to the town. Okay, just like the first time, she was enjoying everything. She was excited. There was no lack of excitement. That's it. Wally loves to watch things, loves to watch people. So that's it. And but then, so it was going on like that. Just like the first trip, it was very wonderful. She was enjoying the sights, everything about the bus, everything outside the bus. She was enjoying the second trip. I mean, the return journey. But then suddenly something happens. Suddenly something happens that changes the course of the story. What was it? A young cow lying dead on the roadside. It was hit by some fast moving vehicle. So she saw a dead cow, a young cow lying dead on the roadside. It was hit by, obviously, it was hit by some fast moving vehicle. We have seen that the cow was, and then she talks with the conductor and confirms with the conductor that it is the same cow that made her laugh a lot on the way to town. She understood. She talked with the conductor and he confirmed. The conductor confirmed that it is the same cow that was running in front of the bus when we were coming to town. So Wally was very sad now. She was overcome with sadness. The excitement turned into sadness because that cow made her laugh a lot. She was very happy to see that. Just a few minutes away. Now, what happened? See, it was such a lovable, beautiful creature on the trip to the town. It was one of the most wonderful things she saw, and it made her so happy, and she laughed a lot in her life. And now, see that beautiful creature, lovable creature, it has lost its charm and life, and now it looked so horrible and frightening. It was lying there with legs spread eagled, a fixed stare in its lifeless eyes, blood all over. And the sight of the cow, young cow, lying there dead, it haunted her. It started to haunt Wally. It kept on haunting Wally. And it dampened her enthusiasm. She lost all the excitement. And then she no longer wanted to look out of the window. She didn't want to look out of the window anymore. She just became very sad. Maybe for the first time in her life, she has confronted with the reality of death. Now, towards the conclusion of the story, she reaches back the village. She reaches back the village and she bids adieu, says goodbye to the conductor with a very short but warm conversation. She says goodbye, and then the conductor also says to Wally, whenever you feel like a bus ride, you can come. And she says, yes, thank you. And then conductor reminds her, but don't forget to carry your ticket fare. Okay. So it became like just a very short, brief conversation. But again, the conductor also understood maybe that she was very sad. He was trying to console her by that conversation, striking up that conversation. Anyhow, it shows that the girl, Wally, had struck a kind of small friendship with the conductor. He was a very kind-hearted and generous person. And now she reaches back at home. Okay, back at home, she sees that her mother is already awake, and there was an aunt also there. One of Wally's aunt was there, and this aunt, Wally's aunt, is a chatterbox. She never stops talking. Okay, when Wally enters the house, she asks, where are you from? Where have you go? Where did you go?" But she doesn't wait for an answer. Wally also doesn't reply, and she's not bothered. Wally's aunt is just having a conversation with her mother. Okay, and in between, she heard that in their conversation between the mother and her aunt, her mother said, "So many things in our midst, among us. Okay, so many things in our midst, and in the world outside. Even when we know, we can't understand them completely." This is what she heard her mother saying to her aunt. Okay, there are so many things that's happening between us, happening all around us and outside the world. Okay, outside in the world, outside our village. Okay, but the wonderful thing is that even when we know that something is happening, we don't actually understand that completely. What's happening in the world, and then Valli says, "Oh yes." Valli agrees to it. "Oh yes." Okay, and then the mother was surprised and they asked, the mother and the aunt was surprised and they asked, what do you say? Okay. And what is it? No, I was just agreeing with what you said. I was agreeing with what you said. Yes, it's true. There are many things that happens outside, right? In the world outside. And even when we know it, we are not able to understand it completely. Okay. And then her aunt says, see, she's a chit of a girl, such a small girl, and she pokes her nose into our conversation. Means actually it is the elder people are having a talk and it doesn't bother her. Okay, it's not of her concern, and still she just uninvitedly she just interferes into her conversation as if she were a grown up lady. Her aunt says as if this small girl is a grown up lady and she has seen the things in the world outside and she has seen a lot of life. She's talking like a grown up lady unnecessarily. This silly young girl. Okay, and then Valli doesn't reply, but she smiles to herself. And she says that they will not understand. The elders, her aunt or her mother will not understand the meaning of her smile. Okay, that's again you will find out later on in the text that you'll come across some questions regarding the meaning of Valli's smile. Just try to understand what is the meaning of that smile Valli had. What is it? You can pause at this point and note down and then come back again and play the video. The meaning of smile, Valli smile. Yes, she has. Her mother and her aunt doesn't know it, but she has explored the world outside her village. And what happened? And she had a wonderful, but at the same time, and shocking experience of the mystery of life and death. Now, Valli has an understanding that death can happen at any time. So life and its charm, it is short-living. And so it is very precious. When you have that life, you have to enjoy it. But at the same time, should be aware that anytime death can happen. Death can happen anytime. Okay. So that's it. That's the end of the story. Okay. Now what I want you to do is just go through the story once again. It's such a beautifully written story. Okay. And the translation was given by Sundaram. And you will find some illustrations in your textbook. And you may observe that they are all very good, very beautiful, classic illustrations. Do you know the reason? Actually, the illustrations were given by one of India's best cartoonists ever, R.K. Lakshman. Okay, so enjoy the text. Just go through the entire story once again and honestly give the answers for all the questions. I hope I have rendered you some kind of useful service by discussing this chapter, even though I had a lot of limitations arranging a board and all. That's why I was using this writing pad actually, and you can see that I'm wearing this mask and all. I'm in home quarantine, in strict room quarantine, and a family member is shooting the video for me, so to prevent them from getting any possible infection, because I had a long train journey also, so I'm wearing this mask and all. So there are a lot of limitations, but inside these limitations, I hope that I have done rendered some useful service to you students, to the student community. I thank Kendriya Vidyalaya Sanghatan, Regional Office Jammu, for giving me this opportunity. And I really apologize for the limitations I have, but please understand that I'm in home quarantine. That's the reason. Okay, thank you so much for your kind, patient listening. And any feedback, you can give it back to me as well.